Is it me or I'm the only one that can't hear anything?
Sorry, I think I muted myself. I'll start over. Okay, so on this chart right here, I'm gonna be talking about EMA crosses, the 8/20 and also the 34 and 50. And at the end of the class, I'll talk about one strategy that one of my friends developed. It's called the 8/89 EMA, and we'll go through it a bit later. So in this case, there's two charts, right? They're the same charts basically, just a difference of indicators. In the right, it's your Ripster EMA clouds, and the left side is just a normal EMA lines. So in one case here, this thing is around like 13 o'clock on Friday, I believe, or was it give me just 1 second here. I think it was Tuesday actually. So this is one of the trades that I took on that day. Basically, the strategy is just once the 8 EMA crosses over the 20 EMA line, then you can basically ride it going up or down, right? And the indicator for that would be like a bullish candle. What happens is basically like you get a candle that crosses over that, and sometimes it retests the EMA line, maybe not. But for example, if you get this bullish line right here, this big bullish line right here, then after that closes, you can buy on the next candle, and then that should be your cue to like just start writing it for a few dollars or whatever. And again, there's always a retest, so you need to be aware of that. In this case, you see the retest over here, right? So the 8 EMA will retest on the 20 EMA. And again, if it does cross over back up on that part, then you can scalp it to the upside again in this case, right? And so like you can see on this chart here on June 8th, same thing happens, right? You get that bullish candlestick that crosses over the EMA lines, right? And once that closes, I am confident of going into the next candle. In this case, a bullish candle or a bullish position, right? So I'll go long on this candle right here. And finally, right, on this arrow right here, you can see that we are crossing the 8 EMA and the 20 EMA to the downside. What I look for in this case is a bullet or a bearish candlestick. I want it to cross over completely, right? And then I'll ride the next one. Sorry.
Sure.
I'm just gonna mute everyone. Can you guys just mute yourself? It's a bit loud. All right, thank you. Okay, so right, In this case, right, I want to wait for a 5-minute candlestick that is completely bearish, and the line has to cross over as well. And I'm sure you guys have probably studied the same thing in other YouTube videos, but I just want to let you know that for this strategy, waiting for like a bearish candlestick or a bullish candlestick is probably one of the most successful indicators for this strategy, at least for what I use, right? So let's go back to the Ripster EMA clouds. In this case, right, this kind of EMA clouds is a little bit easier to read in my opinion, mainly because once the clouds start turning from red to green, then you know that going bullish on your position is the route, or maybe going bearish on the other side of the trade, right? So same thing, right? You still go for like the bearish candlesticks and also the bullish candlesticks. Okay, let's go for a different chart here. So this one is ExxonMobil. This I think was on Friday, or I think it was Thursday, but right. The for this trade, it's really easy to tell that you can go on puts, mainly because the candlesticks over here right, so mainly because like the bearish candlestick is really huge, and like the other indicator that you want is for your EMAs to basically converge, right? So when it squeezes together and then breaks out of it, that is a really good sign that your EMA cross is going to work. So in this case, I think it was like a 4-point trade. So if you had swung this, I think late Thursday and into Friday, then you would have made a lot of money basically. So it's a pretty simple strategy based on what you're seeing. Of course, like as I always say, you have to wait for your indicator to come up, right? Waiting is always the best, right? It's better to, you know, ride a trade than be wrong about it, right? You go in and be wrong about it. It's okay to lose like a few points of the trade instead of actually losing money, right? You'll just make less, but it still works anyway. Yeah, so another thing that I want to point out over here is for going if you had missed this whole run over here, right? You had a chance on Friday to go long on puts again, right? Because in this case, right, it retested all of your EMAs, right? I think this one is a 34. So it tested the 34 EMA and got rejected flat out with a really bearish candlestick, right? So all of this thing right here, I would have entered right after this red bearish candlestick closed. So like right over here, and then wrote it down. Okay, so that's for your 5-minute chart. I think I have a 10-minute. Okay, right. So there are multiple trades here that we can take. This was back in May, I believe. So there's two entries that I think is pretty good here. So one is on this part right here when the 8 and 20 EMA crosses, right? I set out a Fibonacci retracement here just so you can kind of, if this is what you use, then you can see that it crossed this line right here. And in my opinion, that is a good trade because you have quite a few ways going up, right? That's about 8 points, right? So I would enter after the close of this candlestick right here. It's a 30-minute one, right? So I can enter either on this guy right here or on the retest, right? Like I said before, whenever you have the EMA crosses, there's always a retest. So that could be your entry point right there. So it retested it, and then you get another bullish candlestick. So that would be your entry, right? And on the clouds, again, looks a little bit cleaner just because you see that your EMA clouds are turning green, right? But same indicator, you'll go after that bullish candlestick closes, right? And let's say you missed that whole trade right there, right? You get another chance on, I think this was May 26th. I'm not sure if that is actually a trading day, right? So it was on May 26th, Thursday, right? So in this trade right here, pretty much all of your EMAs have crossed, right? So your 8, 20, and 34, right? They're all crossing up the 50, right? This case too, right? You see the crosses here. So same thing. If you miss the entry point, make sure that you are that you wait for the retest, because more often than not, there's actually a retest, and that could be your point to enter, right? Always wait. I can't stress it enough that the longer you wait for a trade, or actually, the more impatient you are on a trade, the worse it becomes for you. So if I miss a trade, right, I'll see if I can jump in once the retest happens. If it doesn't, then it's a lost trade. Who cares, right? I didn't lose money, didn't gain money. It's okay, right? You can always find another trade, right? As long as you know that your strategy is working, right? It doesn't make sense for you to chase for a trade, right? Don't force anything. Okay, so that's a 30-minute. Okay, I'll go on this one. So this is also one of the trades that I actually made back in May. Pretty simple, right? I don't have to talk about it too much here, right? You see the cross, right? EMA clouds, it turned green, right? Crossed the big line here. I think this was the 89 and 180, right? On this EMA clouds. And then on the other side is the 34 and 50 EMA crossing, right? So my trade here was basically entering on this third 30-minute candle right here. As soon as it crossed 34, I entered it, and I think I wrote it for like $2. I'm not too sure though, but I know that I made this trade. Yeah, so pretty simple, right? I think I got like 20% on it easily. And let's see. Okay. So this one is just an extra one. This doesn't you can say that it might be an EMA cross, but that wasn't the trade for this that I did. This was on Friday as well. And I think I got 50% on this. So basically this trade that I did, right? I spotted it mainly because like it seemed that Costco was stronger than the market at the time, right? And once this breakout happened, right? I entered on this bullish candlestick. And I wrote it until like 465, I believe, and it was like a 50% trade, right? So yeah, that is the EMA crossing strategy. I hope it helps. And one last thing, as I said before, I would give out an 889 EMA cross. So just gonna go on SPY here. Actually find one. See. Okay, this one seems good. So just make this a little bit bigger. This is a shout out to one of my friends, Mr. Sam. I think he's in here. So he was one of the guys who looked for the strategy 8/89 EMA. I'm just gonna actually here. Okay, so on SPY, the 8/89 EMA cross is one of the best strategies if you want to get like 200-300% easily on an ODTE. That means zero expiration for your contracts, right? And basically, once you get the 8/89 EMA, we noticed that SPY moves like anywhere between $3 and $10 easily. It could be to the downside or to the upside, and you can probably see it here, right? So let's see.
I don't know if it's just me or everybody else, but I'm still looking at Costco.
Oh,
Roof. I'm still looking at Costco.
I'm just gonna switch it out. Give me one sec.
This is Sin, by the way. I'm just chilling.
Yeah, still looking at Costco.
Yeah, I think it didn't, it's weird. Let's see. Okay, can you guys see this now?
Yes.
Yeah. That's
Right.
working.
Cool, right. So, right, so Mr. Sam, found out that when you get the 8/89 EMA cross on SPY, and I think it was 5 minutes on it. Shoot, where did that go?
So what's the name of when I go to TradingView or on the TD app? What's the name of that indicator? Actual name?
Which one?
8/89 indicator.
It's not an indicator on TradingView. Basically just you can put it on any like charting software, right? Just go on the exponential moving average and then put on both the 8 EMA and the 89 EMA.
Okay. Okay,
Right.
gotcha. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. So so in this case, right? I forgot if he was using it on the 3-minute or the 5-minute, but either way, I think it should work until it doesn't. Right, so on the 8/89 EMA cross, right? As long as that happens, if you buy either on the retest of it or on the breakout of the 8/89 EMA, if you just hold for a day or two even, you should get anywhere between $3 and $10. Sometimes it could even be just a few hours or even like 30 minutes. But you can just follow the trend up or down, right? So in this case, right, if we actually look over it, right? So I would say I would enter here around 411. And then yeah, so all the way here to 416, right? So that's $5. If you are on like a 0 expiration contract, you could easily make 300 to 500%. And if you think 0 expiration is way too risky, right? I'd suggest you buy a week out or even like 3 days out. And usually you will still get at least 100%. And seems like Mr. Sam is actually saying sometimes you could even get like that move within 2 to 5 minutes, like a $3 to $10 movement. So that's just one of the strategies that works really well for SPY. Maybe you might be able to find more in other stocks, but this is just one of them. So yeah, hopefully that helped out a lot. If you guys like my classes and want to support me, definitely check out my YouTube video for this. I have on there my Patreon. It's just patreon.com/ManilaTrader. Yeah. In 2 weeks, we'll do another class. And for that class, I'll be doing just trade setups that I've done for the past trading week or something like that. Right. That is all for today. Does anyone have any questions before I stop recording this?
I just had one question about
Sure.
SPY or XPX.
Uh-huh.
So I lost a lot of money before, but like last week, I was just trading here and there or 5-minute scalping, and it
Yep.
seems to be okay working out for me.
Mhm.
But I really wanna know what like any other like tool like the one you said 8 EMA versus 89. Is there anything else that is consistent and proven for SPY or SPX, especially with the 0 expiration contracts?
With SPY or SPX, at least for the past few days, I think like waiting for a breakout out of a box would be a key to like making a lot of money in it. Of course, like I don't know how many times or how long you look at your charts for during the day, but I actually have one on here, and this was on Thursday, right?
Yeah.
So I was pretty bearish that day, mainly because there was CPI coming on Friday, right?
Right.
And on this break right here, right? So from 9:30 to about 2 o'clock, right? 2:30, SPY was just like trading in a range, right?
Yeah.
Whenever you notice this kind of range consolidation or whatever, I would look for a break of it, right?
Yeah.
And when that happens, really like on the retest, buy as much as you can for the trend, right? If it breaks down out of that range, right? If it retests it and rejects, then you can basically like that's your cue to just like load it, right?
Yeah.
Obviously within risk, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, like this one was about 6 points, 8 points. I was actually I had a trade on this. I wrote it for like 3 points. Obviously not the whole lot, but nonetheless it was pretty good, right? SPX is the same. Like if you're trying to grow your account though, I don't really recommend going for SPX. Mainly because like you could make or break your account on that, right? Maybe like go for like 1 or 2 contracts. Sometimes like SPX could go from like 30 cents premium to like $20 or $10
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
the zero expiration.
Yeah, pretty volatile and pretty risky. I know it's like within matter of second, it could be like $200 down. I
Yeah.
usually go like 1 contract maximum first, and if it goes my opposite, I just average out and try to green in case it doesn't work. But I usually go like 5 minutes candle close, and just within 1 minute or 2 minutes, I just get out with like few hundred, like 30, $50. I mean, I'm
Right.
okay with small green instead of big red, or something like that. So
Right. Okay. So Mr. Sam is happy to share something for us actually. So on this case right here, it's the Renko candles. This is just one way to really remove all of the noises that you have on the charts, because I know that like especially with candles, right? As you can see, right? All these wicks and whatnot, it's not really like, it's just a way to like give noise to retail. And if you try the Renko strategy or a Renko candle charts, this could help. I know for a fact that Mr. Sam uses this strategy right here where everything is just Renko candles, right? And basically, it allows him to remove all of the noise, right? So he can ride the trend completely on all the EMA crosses, basically. I think this one is the 8 to 89 EMA crosses, right? Yeah, so that's that, right? The other thing that you need to understand is that when you're in a position, right? As long as the trend is in your favor, like the 8 EMA keeps going up if you're in a long position, then it's okay to like just trim instead of like removing all of your position. Because like that is a key indicator that the trend is still good, right? And that's one of the strategies that we actually do, is that as long as you're for example, if you're in a long position, right? If the 8 EMA keeps going up and all of your candles are just like sitting on top of it, then keep riding it, right? Until it doesn't work anymore. And that allows you to extend your gains from, let's say, 30% to 50% to 100%, right? And the other thing is that at key percentage gains, I always trim, right? So 30%, 50%, 100%. And I mainly do this on like ODTE, because like my risk is very small when it comes to those kinds of trades. So I'd be glad to like just write it up. Yeah, and the last thing is that for 0-day expiration contracts, never hold it through consolidation, right?
Yeah.
That is one of the worst things you could do to yourself, because the data is just going to decay your premium. right?
Yep. Yep.
So that's what I want to tell. Anyway,
Yeah.
are
Thank
there
you.
any
Thank
other
you too.
questions?
So you on the Discord, your name is ARC
Yeah,
AME, right?
Arcane 5568. I have that girl picture, you know.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Good to
It's
know.
definitely catfish.
So when you take any calls, you post anywhere or on alerts in that Discord group.
Yeah, I usually alert it. I don't have that much time to alert really. But I try to. I'm in like 3 or 4 different Discords. So it's kind of hard to keep track of everything. But
Right.
I would alert usually in the options chat or the coach alerts.
Okay.
If I take any position.
Sure.
If not that, I'd give out like some ideas using charts, and whoever sees them, right?
Right. Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
I will DM you, bro, for some more questions if I have, just in case.
for sure, right? I'm just gonna do a little plug in here on the chat if anyone wants to support. Yeah,
Sure. Thank you. I
all right.
appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. All right. I'm just gonna stop the recording here now and stop the sharing as well.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no worries.